Hey everybody, it's VIOLA, and I'm bringing you some Talon gameplay, as promised in the video uploaded earlier today. Now, LoL replay is not fixed, but it is working. I can repair videos that have been recorded since the last patch, just not anything before that. So a lot of older, really very good gameplays I can't use yet, but at the end of the month I should be able to fix those as well, and use those. If I try and repair them now, they get corrupted and you'll never see them, so there's that. In my opinion, this is one of the more interesting Talon matchups, like being against Kassadin. You're both anti-mages, you're AD, he's AP, and you both have blinks. Now, Kassadin's obviously is spammable, and this is what counters Talon. Talon's escape is sort of a one-trick pony, like you pop your ult, and you either juke or you just run straight away, and either way you go, Kassadin can follow you because it is non-targetable, and it's pretty spammable. Now, Master Yi is a gold player, you might have seen in the intro, and man, every time he comes in the lane, I just want to kill him. If I kill him, I get first blood, Kassadin kills me. And then Kassadin winds up with double buffs and is able to push the lane, so that gives me a laning disadvantage, so I have to restrain every time, because I just do so much damage to him. Now, Cho'Gath comes in, though, we get a very effective gank on Kassadin pre-6. It's really important to shut him down early, even though Talon's burst increases a lot at level 6. When you're against somebody like Kassadin, or somebody else who gets a really game-changing ult at level 6, it might be a better idea to call in a gank earlier. As Talon, since your damage varies somewhat interestingly throughout the game, with leveling up, depending on whether you're maxing Q or W, when you get your ult, you want to test your damage a lot of the time, which is, I mean, it is harassing, but you also just have to know how much you do, and it also whittles down your lane opponent. Now, Master Yi comes in through some really strange angles. I get creep blocked. I mean, most of his ganks, none of them result in a kill, but they do put me behind in lane. I have pods, I pod up, and it's really not that big of a deal. Now, here, I'm just trying to pop back up, going on Kassadin. I don't really mean to do that much damage to him, but I realize now that I can easily kill him with one more burst. I could have killed him there, but the thing is I wasn't really aware of how much damage I was doing since I was sitting back farming and potting up. Now, from his earlier deaths in lane, Kassadin is behind in levels. He's not significantly behind in the amount of damage that he's able to deal, since he's been farming poorly, but we don't have enough farm that it matters, so he's still level 5, so I need to zone him off the creeps. He cannot get any XP from this, because once he's 6, I mean, if I go in, he's just going to ult away, that's no big deal. So I zone him out, he comes back, and I'm able to easily burst him down, and that's what you should do with any high priority target in a team fight as well. And it's important to keep track of your mana. I realized in the last clip that I had just enough mana for one burst, and it was my only shot. Now, I'm indecisive and I make a really big mistake. When I see Yi coming in, I easily could have jumped on him. He was still in like a triangle area and gotten a kill, and I wouldn't have had to flash. But I wasn't sure whether or not I could kill him, so then I went for it, but Kassadin was already on his way in, so I have to flash and back, and Kassadin gets to farm easily, push the lane. I decide to pod up, which just puts me in a dangerous predicament. I know that Cho'Gath is here. Kassadin's coming in like he wants to jump on me. So I jump onto him and silence him before he can do anything, and then he has to use his ult to get out rather than to do any damage to me. Now, zoning is extremely effective on Kassadin. When I'm acting this aggressively, he surely knows that Cho'Gath is here, but it's really not that big of a deal, because if I can force him, so he's either backing or if he decides to stay, which he doesn't clearly, he would have to farm at his own tower, and that's one of Kassadin's weakness. You have to play to the other champion's weakness, because I don't want him to have his ult for the mobility it provides, so if he has to wave clear with it, then I can just sit here and farm all day, and then back once I push it to the tower and put him in that sort of position. Now, I'm derping around in our jungle. I had bot lane, because Kassadin goes down. Always follow your lane opponent. If they go somewhere to gank, you need to be there too, so you can pop in, clean up, or just feed. Have to pop your ult to get away, stuff like that, you know? We are able to turn and get a kill on Kassadin, so it's actually a 1-for-1 trade. I thought I was going to hit Draven with that, but I didn't, I missed. I done goofed. And then this is really funny because Cho'Gath is able to nom him down.
Double kill.
Now, unfortunately, it's Shen Free Week, which basically means in every game, you're going to get, yes, Shen. So he's able to ult in, and then suddenly a two-man manageable sort of deal turns into something where I jump on the Kassadin because with anti-casters, the one on offense wins. So I don't really realize that Shen is there enough to pop my ult to get away, which is obviously not the ideal thing to do. Now here, I'm heading up towards top lane. As Talon, you have great roaming potential, especially with mobile boots, and you need to make the most of it. So we're able to come up, kill Shen, use Rake for the slow. And this is one of those times where I easily could have popped my ult and gotten the kill, but I'll let Garen waste his instead and just a single kill. Immediately afterwards, I see Kassadin right about the same time that Garen runs into Master Yi, and then Shen ports in, so I'm pinging at Garen like crazy, trying to Rake for the slow. This is the first of several times that I try to save stupid members of my team. Now, ideally, I would have liked to get under the tower before ulting, because standing under a tower, taking free tower shots, while the person that you're diving is stealth for 2.5 seconds is obviously not a good idea, so you can take full advantage of that. Now, Cho'Gath is coming in, he's pinging me back, and I don't really realize why, but then of course, Shen and Yi both show up. Shen ulted into a taunt. I would have made it away, except for that. Cho'Gath makes it out alive because he gets ridiculously fed and just noms on everything. And then this fight, Nidalee is sort of poking us down, so it's important for us to just go in. So Garen YOLO a little bit, we jump on the Kassadin. I take way too much damage, and even though I stealth, Draven's ult finishes me off. It was really, I was gonna say it's a waste of my ult, but it's not. It's on such a short cooldown that really you can just use it whenever it's up. It'll be up again normally by the time that you need it, unless you're escaping or something. Now, everyone knows how important stopping objectives is, or at least taking them for your own team, and everyone also knows how assassins are really bad initiators. But Talon, I'd say up there with the Talon and Shaco, are better than most, because you can pop in, pop your stealth, and because you're a high priority target, they try to focus you instead of the objective, and it gives the rest of the team time to catch up. So here I'm able to net a double, and then I just get overconfident. I assume that either Kassadin or Draven is back, and when I see Draven, I jump on him, Nidalee's not far off, and then Garen runs the long way, and it turns into a long and merry chase. A Kassadin chase is obviously never exactly what you want, especially if you're somebody with just one escape. And despite the decent damage, I healed a Kassadin at the end, which I really should have been doing the whole time. He gets away, and the pings are going crazy. We're all pinging back off Kassadin and just kill Draven. It's an easy kill, and Garen and Leona, the two most incompetent members of the team, split ways so that they can be incompetent separately. Leona dies. Fun stuff. One of my favorite tricks that really never gets old is just to pick a bush in your own jungle or the enemy jungle and just wait. Now this is one of those moments, there's a lot of these in this game where the phrase anyone but Kassadin comes up. I mean, with almost anyone else that would have been a kill, but Kassadin's able to just rift walk rather. And hey, if you can burn their flash by just sitting in a bush, totally worth it. Now Kassadin's really making me painful, and we just decide to kill him because he does things like standing in places where we have vision even though he thinks we don't. I'm just going to slow it down so you can see it again. This would have been a clean kill because the bleed and my ignite would have been more than enough to finish him off. And instead, I fat finger in the second half of my ult, so it comes back in. Now, at this point, I'm running away from Master Yi, Nidalee. You know, I'm going to die. It's not going to end well for me. But what I should have done, because Master Yi is starting to get really fed, thankfully not off me, so at least it's not my fault. Not that I haven't died to him at this point. I should have backed off and run back into their team so that there's a higher chance that somebody other than Yi would have gotten the kill. Now, I've juked away from Kassadin several times by ditching to the sides, but the biggest disadvantage of that is that the blades follow you. And then with Kassadin, he can easily catch back up. Once again, you have to hop on him to silence him. It's only half-second silence, but at least you can save 1 for 1. Now, in all honesty, at this point in the game, things are just not going well for me. I'm not really getting any more kills because their team is moving more as a group than ours. Now, we find Kassadin now, so we just kill him instantly. I just instantly kill the biggest target on the enemy team. Now, Nidalee's poking us down once again, and we just have to go and do something, because if you stand there and take poke, you're not going to do anything, you know? Cho'Gath does a lot of damage as Rule comes in, and then I kill steal, because honestly, I need to start snowballing. I don't do enough damage right now. People say that Talon doesn't scale in the late game, but he really does. Now, I should have popped my ult before, so he couldn't alpha strike to me, but it actually turns out pretty well, because he turns around to finish off the rest of my team, and my mobile boots just kick in and I can run away.
Now here's something that you're going to see, and you already have seen quite a bit. Me somewhere off trying to farm with either Leona or Garen, because they insist on coming places to steal my farm. Now, with Talon by yourself, you can usually get away, but if there's somebody else there, it just seems like you die more often. Now, the Nidalee Spear stopped my mobile movements from kicking in. I would have gotten away, obviously didn't work out how I planned. It's such an easy to dodge skill shot too. But my team is able to clean up, sort of. As you're going to see, every member of the team just splits off and goes and does their own thing. And at the end of the day, we lose this fight. Even though we have a very good team fight going, despite me getting killed right at the beginning. Ezreal does kill Shen, oh goody, then he gets shut down by Yi, which is just what we want. Fed Master Yi with even more gold than before. Garen and Leona go decide that, yeah, because they're both tanks, they clearly have enough damage to finish off Kassadin. Anyway, I barely miss getting Draven in this next fight with my ult. And then I realize how much damage that Ez ult does to Nidalee, so I turn around and kill her. But I should have waited for Rake to be off cooldown, and she's able to pounce away. It feels like everyone on this team has something that gives them distance from Rake. So I just missed out on a lot of kills that I could have really quite easily had. Now Cho'Gath is ridiculous. I don't know how much health he has right now, but at the end of the game he has 5,500. So I jump in, my team is a lot further away than I'd like them to be, but we just need to shut down Master Yi, which thankfully we're able to do. Black Cleaver makes Shen's armor not as big of an issue, even though he's able to jump away, and Leona fails. Why would you put the sword there? He's gonna run to either side. 50% chance on either side, 0% chance of getting right down the middle. And Leona winds up with a double kill, so like something like 1 in 11 Leona turns into 3 in 11 Leona. I'm not saying that she doesn't need to be tanky, and hey, Fed Leona makes everyone happy. She goes God mode and just gets unkillable. But you're not going to go God mode at this point in the game by kill stealing from people who actually need it to continue snowballing, i.e. Talon, Cho'Gath. Although Cho'Gath is just so huge, it's ridiculous. We are able to go in, I am able, unassisted, instigate Draven. Once again, this is your job in any team fight. Now this next little clip just sort of speaks for itself, so I'll let you please your ears. Now, although we are winning the base race, we have no desire to lose an inhib to Master Yi. So instead of porting back, I'm able to just cut him off this way and we are able to get this kill. Although I do have to waste flash, but honestly, have him, absolutely worth it. Now I'm just walking around looking for kills that I can totally earn all by myself like that one. Which I pick up because, hey, when you earn a kill, you just take it. You don't let anybody else take it from you. Because you really do have a lot of snowballing potential. People don't realize how hard you can snowball even in the late game. I was even well into this game, and I only started snowballing late, mostly because of my difficult lane matchup against Kassadin. I wasn't able to come back into lane and burst him down every time I was there. And just like any champ with high burst, low health Nidalee should not stick around at turrets when they're there. I'm able to kill mid, pick up an easy double kill into Master Yi, and then almost a triple, but Shen is able to be his noob self and flash out, once again, just out of range of Rake. The reason that Talon scales so well into late game is because even if you're not Fed, you still do a lot of damage. His base damages are not bad, his scaling is excellent, and if worse comes to worse, you're still AD. So you're still, I mean, if you want to become Master Yi Split Pusher Part 2, I mean, it's totally up to you. And I can just instantly give Kassadin as soon as he gets CC'd. Talon goes really, really well with any form of CC. Now, I mentioned earlier how people with high mobility for escapes do well against Talon, like mid, but you have to wait till after they burn. So for instance, you saw there, I waited till after she pounced to blink. Now this team fight almost loses the game for us. You're going to see how not being on the same page as a team can really hurt, especially when the tanks and the carries seem to be moving as two separate groups. At the beginning of this fight, we actually have decent positioning. The carriers in the back, the tanks are in the front, but Ez and I are trying to focus down the engine because that's why we're not looking to win this push. So while we're staying there, the tanks are moving and we're not really on the same page, as we're all randoms, nobody's in a group together, nobody's Skyping. Because of that, their carriers are able to beat on our tanks. Now Cho'Gath is ridiculous. Garen's pretty fed. Leona's... Garen's not fed, rather he's just tanky. Leona's not tanky. Garen goes down quickly with combined team focus. And then Ez and I try to make something happen, but by this point it's too late because their team's positioning is also exceptional. Draven is so far back, he's able to land his ult on the entire team. I ult too late, doesn't matter, short cooldown, but it still would have been better to try to jump on Draven and blow him up. Instead, we basically all got picked off, and then Cho'Gath suffers a long, drawn-out death. That's what happens when you have 5,500 health. Now, in addition to having 5,500 health, as I'm sure I've said too many times for most of you, Cho'Gath already has a GA. He's got ridiculous amounts of magic resist rather, and armor. And he has a decent amount of AP, and that's why as soon as he comes back, he's instantly able to just do a ton of damage to Draven. Now, this could have gone either way. Kassadin does wind up taking the kill by a well-timed Rift Walk. God, I can't talk. Right out of the Rupture Spikes, so that could have happened. They do get Baron off this fight. I do come in check. Sorry about the long replay glitches. And we're just forced to back off. Now, they do have to defend, so it's not the best use of their Baron, but at least they got it so we could. This team fight feels a lot better than the previous one. I'm able to take out the dirt around the stealth so I don't get killed, because people tend to ignore you if you're stealthing. There's always better target than somebody who they can't see. Now, as a very aggressive AD caster, YOLOing on Talon is almost always the right answer. So, Ezreal, Cho'Gath, and I are instantly able to kill Draven. I mean, that was so fast, I had to slow it down so you could even see what happened. It was great. So obviously we were able to take the victory. Didn't carry that hard, but lane matchup obviously not very favorable. Still wound up quite positive, and GG. Thanks for watching. This has been VIOLA. See you all next time.